What would you do for perfect luck? I mean, if you knew you could never lose again, what would you be willing to sacrifice? Well, let's break down this incredibly dark story about a gambler who learns that some shortcuts come with a terrifying price tag.
So our story kicks off in a high-stakes casino, and you hear those words. They're coming from this mysterious guy who seems, well, completely invincible, supernaturally so. And get this, he calls himself Lucky. All right, so let's really paint the picture here. The tension in the room is just thick. You can feel it. All eyes are on this one poker table, where it's all come down to two men in a silent battle for their futures.
And when I say the stakes are high, I mean high. We're talking 20 lakh rupees sitting in a pile on that table. This is a life-changing amount of money. For one man, it's a fortune. For the other, our protagonist, Gaurav, it's financial ruin. He's betting everything he has.
And the difference between these two guys, man, it is night and day. You've got Gaurav just sweating bullets. You can literally see the panic in his eyes. He's cracking under the pressure. And then there's Lucky. Cool as a cucumber. He has this unnerving, almost creepy confidence, like he knows something no one else does. Finally, Gaurav just can't take it anymore. He thinks he's got it, throws his cards down, and yells out, "I won! You're broke!" You can feel the relief in his voice. But Lucky, he doesn't even blink. He just gives this little smirk, slowly reveals his own cards, and boom, game over. Gaurav is wiped out in an instant.
Gaurav is just shattered. He's lost it all. So what does he do? He runs after Lucky as he's leaving the casino, corners him, and just begs to know his secret. How is it even possible to be that lucky all the time?
Okay, and this is where the whole story just takes a nosedive into the supernatural. Lucky explains that true luck, what he calls kismat, has absolutely nothing to do with hard work or skill or even random chance. No, he says it's about tapping into something darker, forces that exist way beyond our understanding.
Now Gaurav, he's at rock bottom, right? So he says he'll do anything. He even offers Lucky all the winnings back. But Lucky just brushes him off. Money's not what he's after. He says to get this kind of power, you only need one single quality.
And what is that one thing? Courage. Or, as they say in Hindi, sahas. The guts to face your absolute worst fears and not back down.
And Gaurav, bless his desperate heart, hears the word courage and immediately gets this false bravado. He puffs up his chest and is like, "Oh yeah? Courage is my middle name. What do I have to do, kill someone?" Oh boy, he has absolutely no idea what he just opened the door to.
And this is the moment that just sends a shiver right down your spine. Lucky looks at him, perfectly calm, and says, "No, you don't have to kill someone who's living. You have to kill someone who's already dead."
So Lucky lays out the whole twisted plan. It's this gruesome, awful ritual. And where does it have to happen? Of course, a graveyard. And when? At the stroke of midnight. Couldn't get more classic horror than that.
And the instructions are just horrifyingly specific. Step 1, go to the cemetery alone. Step 2, find the grave of another man, who was also named Lucky. Yeah, you heard that right. Step 3, dig up the body. And the final step, the one that's just unthinkable, you have to hammer a nail straight into the corpse's head.
Gaurav is obviously freaking out, so Lucky leans in with this chilling piece of reassurance. He says, "I've done this myself. You saw what happened at that table. This is how I got it." I mean, it's not some abstract theory. He's living proof that this nightmare actually works.
So we flash forward. After a night that we can only imagine was pure terror, the next thing Gaurav knows, he's waking up in his own bed. The sun is shining, and for just one beautiful second, there must have been this huge wave of relief. It was all just a horrible, horrible nightmare.
He's trying so hard to convince himself, The casino, losing everything, the graveyard, that had to be a stress dream, right? It just couldn't possibly have been real.
But then, he hears it, a voice. And it's not coming from the room. It's coming from inside his own head. And it says, "Hello, Lucky. You've become very lucky now." That's the moment the floor drops out. It was real, and he's not alone in his own body anymore.
And then this thing inside him lays out the terms and conditions. It's a parasitic deal. The entity's name is Lucky, and it'll give Gaurav anything he wants. The price? It's going to feed on his blood. And the real kicker? That's not all. His first assignment is to find the next person to pass this curse on to.
Just as this horrifying new reality is sinking in, Gaurav remembers something. That little folded piece of paper the first Lucky gave him, the one he was told not to read until later. With his hands trembling, he pulls it out of his pocket.
And the note isn't a congratulations. It's a thank you note and a warning. It says, "Thank you, Gaurav, for freeing me from the curse." He didn't receive a gift. He inherited a death sentence. The original Lucky just passed the curse to him to save himself. And the message is crystal clear. Find a replacement, or this thing will drain you dry.
And the story comes full circle in the most chilling way possible. We cut to a casino, and there's our guy Gaurav, now the new Lucky. He's got that same calm, unbeatable confidence, and he's scanning the room, looking for someone who looks desperate, someone who looks just like he did. The cycle has to continue.
And that's what it leaves us with, this haunting question about how far we'd go when we're desperate. It's a terrifying look at the shortcuts we think we want. So it makes you wonder, if you had nothing left to lose, what unthinkable price would you be willing to pay to know you could never lose again?